Members of the British royal family, politicians and other guests have attended a special service at St Paul's Cathedral in London to honour Queen Elizabeth's 70 years on the throne. It was the main event on the second of 4 days of celebrations to mark the Platinum Jubilee. However, the Queen herself did not attend. It's also been confirmed that she will also miss the Derby horse racing meeting at Epsom on Saturday. Officials said she made the decision to withdraw with great reluctance because of the journey and activity required. It is known the Queen is a big fan of horse racing. Prince Charles officially represented his mother at today's Thanksgiving service, while the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were also in attendance. Well, we'll cross over to the Mall right now and speak to my colleague, the BBC's Catty Kay.
Well, down here on the Mall, they are just starting. You can hear outside Buckingham Palace, perhaps you can pick up the noise. They're just starting to do the rehearsals for tomorrow night's big concert that's going to take place there. There have been people all day down here on the Mall. The weather is just starting to change. We may get a little bit of rain, so people are thinning out. But the main focus of events, of course, here hasn't been on the Mall or at Buckingham Palace at all. It's all been at St Paul's Cathedral. That's where the official focus of the Platinum Jubilee celebrations has been taking place, and our royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell has more from there.
A service of thanksgiving at St Paul's Cathedral without the person for whose long years of public service those thanks were being offered. The Queen was absent, but other members of her family were present, as were political leaders and others. The Prime Minister had arrived with his wife to a mixed reception. There was a largely warm greeting for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, appearing together in public for the first time in Britain since they withdrew from royal life and moved to California more than 2 years ago. There have been well-documented family tensions since then, exacerbated by sharp comments by the Sussexes in interviews. But this was a day for the family to come together. Harry and Meghan made their way down the length of the central aisle in St Paul's to their seats with other members of the family. A family with which the couple have had only limited contact since they chose to leave Britain. With the Queen absent, it was the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall who processed through the cathedral to represent the Queen and lead the thanksgiving for her reign. The congregation included 400 members of NHS staff and other key workers from around the country. But it was the service of one person over 70 years that was highlighted. In his sermon, the Archbishop of York recalled one of the Queen's principal private interests.
We all know that the Queen likes horse racing. And Your Majesty, I'm rather assuming perhaps you're watching this on the television. And I'm afraid I don't have any great tips for the Derby tomorrow. Your Majesty, we are sorry that you're not here with us this morning, but we are so glad that you are still in the saddle, and we are glad that there is still more to come.
And finally, a service of thanksgiving for a monarch who is showing the signs of her 96 years, concluded with the national anthem. Nicholas Witchell, BBC News.
So let's get the latest from Windsor, where, of course, the Queen is tonight, and we've heard that she is not going to be attending the Derby, as Nicholas Witchell said there, and we didn't see her either at St Paul's Cathedral this morning. Helena Wilkinson is there for us. Helena, do we have any sense, does the palace give any updates on how the Queen is doing, or is that not the way it works?
It's not the way it works, Catty. They don't give running commentaries. And we know that the Queen has been facing these mobility issues. And yesterday, as we saw, it was an incredibly long, busy day for the Queen. She made 2 appearances on the balcony yesterday, then returned to Windsor to help with that beacon lighting ceremony. And she became clearly very, very tired and had those episodic mobility issues that she has been facing recently. The palace won't give any updates. That's not what they do. But we do know, as you say, that she isn't going to attend the Epsom Derby tomorrow. And that is a big thing for the Queen. There's nothing more than the Queen, what the Queen likes is a day out at the Derby. And tomorrow it's going to be particularly special, of course, because of her Platinum Jubilee. But she will watch it here at Windsor Castle on the television, and Princess Anne will represent her mother officially at the Derby tomorrow. But again, it's very clear that the Queen has been feeling exhausted, especially after those big celebrations yesterday. And we don't know really whether we're going to see Her Majesty at all over the weekend. Obviously, people are hoping to, but, you know, for those who did get a glimpse of her yesterday outside the palace, they were very lucky indeed.
Helena, in her absence, of course, we have seen more of Prince Charles during the course of this weekend. We'll see Princess Anne, as you said, there tomorrow at the Derby. Does that kind of give the nation a chance, really, to see Prince Charles stepping into some of the role that he will play in the future?
Yeah, I think so. It seems to be happening very gradually and very slowly. And we've seen, haven't we, Prince Charles and Camilla taking the lead, taking over from the Queen on some of the main official duties. We've also seen the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge taking on many roles on behalf of the Queen. And we saw the four of them, didn't we, at St Paul's Cathedral earlier on today. So yes, I think there is that gradual shift because, of course, the Queen is not feeling quite up to it physically, but she is very much there. You know, we saw her yesterday, didn't we, on the balcony, looking very happy indeed. She's needing a walking stick. She is 96 years old. That is not a surprise at all. It will be frustrating, though, for the Queen, who has to cancel the event tomorrow, Epsom Derby, and she has had to cancel a number of events in the past. But we did, Cathy, see her at the Royal Windsor Horse Show a couple of weekends ago. She managed to go to the Chelsea Flower Show last week, and again looking very happy indeed. But those mobility issues, again, causing problems, especially given the travelling into central London. And tomorrow she would have had to have travelled about an hour to get to the Epsom Derby, and that is obviously a bit of a challenge for her. But we think she is probably resting here at Windsor Castle and taking in what's going on across the country, across the Commonwealth to celebrate. She will watch the Epsom Derby, as I say, tomorrow on the television here at Windsor Castle.
Helena, thank you very much for joining us there from Windsor. It is a weekend of looking back at the reign of Queen Elizabeth, but of course it's also a weekend of looking forward at what happens after Queen Elizabeth and what happens to the British monarchy. Elizabeth remains Queen of 15 countries in what's known as the Commonwealth realm. But this time last year, she was Queen of 16 countries. In November of 2021, the Caribbean island of Barbados became a republic, removing Queen Elizabeth as their head of state. Well, joining me now is Reverend Guy Hewitt. He's former High Commissioner for Barbados in London. Reverend, thank you very